Hi, I'm Lucas. I've been with the ASGH for 4 years. I started my freshman year of high school, and I'm now in my senior year. And I want to talk about the project for telescope refurbishment that I think the club can help out with. So, as many of you know, we've done lots of outreach events with Talcott Mountain. They have like winter and fall observing events that they do once a month where they bring the public out and we go up there and help operate the telescopes and talk to the public. But the astronomer there, Hannah, brought up one day that she had a bunch of spare telescopes that were sitting in a closet from like as far back as 40 years ago for this telescope to like pretty nice modern telescopes. So she offered that I could take them and try to refurbish them and donate them to schools or organizations that might need them. So I drove up there and I got a bunch of telescopes. And the plan is hopefully to make sure that they're nice and clean. They have all the stuff they need, like eyepieces, diagonals, mounts, and so on. And then we can give them out to schools that might have astronomy clubs or organizations that might want to use these for other outreach programs. I can read off an inventory of what I have later, but it's mostly split into two categories. I have like 15 or so smaller scopes from like 70 millimeters to 100 that are either electronic or just manual, like tripod tilted EQ mounts. And the bunch that are like these two scopes, big 8-inch SCTs, a couple of them have like this pitch fork mount. I have that one that doesn't have any mount, and also two big homemade newts that were made out of like cardboard that will need some sort of mounting thing. So far, I've tried to clean a couple of the corrector plates on the SCT. So I've gone in there with PEC pads and like a 90% isopropyl alcohol mixture, and I've cleaned off the corrector plates for the SCTs that I take off. I've taken off the front like screws, removed it, cleaned the back and front, and then put it back on. And that's worked for this telescope and other ones that are pretty clean already, but some of them have a lot of dirt in their mirrors, so I haven't touched any of those. I'm hoping that the club can help out if they have, if anyone has like experience cleaning mirrors, because I'm afraid I could just scratch them if I go in there trying to clean them. I already know which are the gaps. So one of the things that the club is going to need to do if we want to help out this project is get the materials and additional stuff like star diagonals that we need. I think right now there are like 8 star diagonals that are needed, a couple of like SCT adapters to go into those. There's a bunch of eyepieces that we would obviously need. I have a box of ones that I also got from Talcott Mountain and Hannah, but I don't think that will be enough and enough like variety and size to go for all the telescopes. We also need the mounts, like I said, and a couple of them need finder scopes. The finder scope on this telescope I got from Talcott Mountain, and there's one other 50 by 10 finder scope, I think, in there, but that's it for the finder scopes. The parts I do have, I just said. So for the schools, I want to obviously have the club talk about this afterwards. But I was thinking we could try to go for high schools that already have some sort of astronomy program or some sort of like astronomy class. We would have to like look at that, but off the top of my head, I know Hartford Classical Magnet School has a astronomy class or something, and a couple of years ago, somebody in the club helped refurbish a big telescope that they have. So I was thinking maybe they can get one of these, but we would I'm thinking look for high schools that could use them and have give the telescope, obviously give them a talk so that they know what they're doing and aren't going to damage these, like not necessarily beginner telescopes. You'd have to get them up to speed. But for the people that might be more beginners and don't have like an established astronomy program, or if we need to go down to middle schools, we can give them the smaller, easier to use, just like manual tripod mounts. Uh, Last thing I have written here is just to talk about the mounts that we would need. There are the two homemade newts that would need some sort of drilling and like Dobbs mount on them, I'm assuming. There's a like 60 millimeter just refractor scope that would need the clamps and a mount to go with that. And also the equatorial mount to hold this 200 millimeter lead SCT here. That's it for the notes that I have. So I want to ask if anybody in the club has questions or would like me to read out my inventory of what I currently have at my house, or has anything else they'd like to say.
I have a question.
Yeah, John?
Was it Talcott Mountain's requirement that these be redonated once refurbished, or is that just a statement that you've made or just wanted to make?
There was no like expectation when I took them. I think Lucas, who also has helped out at the Talcott Mountain events, came up there and just took like a scope for himself. So these were just given on the condition of we don't need them anymore. They're taking up space and they were going to go to a junkyard if I didn't take them. So we can donate these or do whatever we want. I don't think there's a condition though.
That's an important thing that we should know, because we have younger members, like yourself, that started when you were a freshman, and some that started in junior high school, or some members that just may not be in a position to purchase a scope, that I think that it would behoove us to offer them to our membership once they're ready, or as a condition, fix it yourself. But certainly the project to offer them to schools and perhaps libraries would, or any other nonprofit is a great idea.
Yeah, I think we already have like libraries that we gave a couple of telescopes to in the past, right?
Well, there's a formal library astronomy program that was started by Friends of the Astronomical League that Chris and Bill have been working through, but doesn't mean we've hit every library in our geographical area.
Yeah, so we can definitely try to get a telescope. Does anybody care for me to read through my entire inventory? Because I can if somebody wants that.
So Lucas,
Bill to post.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I think if you could have a written version of, well, there's three things that you talked about, right? You need certain skills like mirror polishing. So a list of the skills that you need, or the skills or tasks that have to be done that you don't feel like you would like to do by yourself. The other is parts that you absolutely need and parts that you would like to get in order to fill out the suite of capability for those telescopes. So three kinds of lists. And if you could give those to me and Jeff, I'll make sure that they get up on the website so that, and then Jeff can put out an email to everybody that says, hey, here's the list. These are the things that Lucas is looking for. And then the members can see that and hit you up with what they have available.
Yeah, I have a list of things that I can send to you.
It's a great idea, Bill, because that way you can work on polishing it, for example. In figurative terms, Lucas hasn't had a lot of telescopes in his lifetime. So a star diagonal for a refractor is not the same as a diagonal for a compound optic scope. It's not necessarily an adapter, it's a different diagonal style. For another example is cleaning a meniscus. I went to Skywatcher because, as some of you may know, I got sprayed heavily by a water jet on an outreach that I was doing with Chris. And I wanted to find out their preferred method for cleaning a meniscus on a Maxudov Casa grain. And it's 99% alcohol, not isopropyl alcohol, and special cotton that you only swab once, throw out, get another piece of cotton, throw out after a single swipe. So,
Yeah,
and
I was using 99% pure alcohol diluted to 90 with distilled water, and then using lint-free wipes to like go out radially and then throw that away. And it seemed to work like pretty well to get no smudges on here, but I definitely think I could do better.
yeah, and there's instructions on how to clean mirrors on the web everywhere. And we have plans for what Julian wrote up, Julian Shull, who I believe is still a member, that should be out on Groups.io someplace on how to build the entire mount. So you for a cardboard or sonotube style Newtonian reflector.
Okay. Yeah, that'll be useful.
And if not, I'll hit him up for it for the fourth time because I keep losing it.
Okay. Um, the another thing to think about is also the difference between electric and motorized. I think I have 5 electric mounts that require to be plugged in, uh, 3 that run on battery power, and then the other 12 telescopes are manually based. So when we're giving them out, I think also give preference to the battery telescopes to people who are less experienced. Maybe the like this Crate Dynamax with a cord, because there's like different levers to change the rotational speed and stuff to someone who to an organization that might have more experience already with the scopes.
Yeah, don't turn around. John may take it home with him.
Yeah. Anybody else have questions or stuff?
Where are they located? Because,
This telescope?
yeah, where are they?
I have them at my house, like cleared out a shelf and stored there. There's a bunch that have come in boxes, so they're like sealed off. But the ones that haven't, I tried to get like caps and covers if they didn't already have, so they would get like busted by those.
Where is your house?
West Hartford.
I'm sorry, you
But
say
like,
West Hartford? I didn't hear that.
yeah, West Hartford. It's actually like right below Talking. I live like on down the mountain.
I hate to keep being the guy, keep asking questions, and I'll shut up very shortly and go on mute. How many do you estimate that you have that could be made into reusable scopes that aren't the 60 millimeter department store scopes?
They're all pretty good. I think the worst one that I have is a it's a I don't know the model name, but it's a Celestron with like the one arm and the battery in the middle. It's a 70 millimeter scope, but that's like a really good mount that could probably be repurposed for a scope bigger than a 70 millimeter refractor. Other than that, I think they're all usable if they get refurbished and cleaned up. The second worst one would be that 60 millimeter refractor, but like it seemed pretty decent quality and like heavy and good construction. So I assume that one will also be good if you get it on a mount to put an eyepiece in.
I'm sorry, the major part of that question was total count.
Total count. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 19, 21 telescopes. 11 of those are the like 4-inch Dynamax model though that come in a case. I have 13 cases, but some of the cases are missing like a tripod leg or just don't have the scope inside them. So I have 11 complete. I have 11 optical tubes, and I think with the other cases, that's enough parts to make sure every part has like a mount and a tripod and stuff.
what do you see as your time frame? Because I know while you're doing this, you're also filling out
College application.
college
Yeah.
application. as well.
I think, um, I think once I finish the college applications, which will be hopefully November 1st, I can spend a lot more time on this, but hopefully we can get it done, I think by the new year. That should be like a reasonable time frame. Give stuff out, depending on how much the club members like help out, I think it could also be done in a shorter time frame.
Well, since this is a service project, do you have milestones you need to achieve before your college applications?
No, I'm not gonna put this on my application because I'm not sure what state it'll be when it's finished.
Yeah, I think we just like them out of the basement by the time they go to college.
Yeah.
Right? That's the ultimate deadline.
Talk to my wife, yeah.
Yeah, they've been moving in as I've been creating them, taking over more and more space.
For the record, I think the new year may be vicious, but.
Yeah, I do
hopefully
too. Chris, what did you think about, making this available to club members?
What are you making the finished products available to club members?
It doesn't have to be finished. I'm just saying,
Oh,
it's not a requirement from Talcott Mountain. It was just something that Lucas thought we should be doing. Do you think it's also viable, to make them available to club members regardless of state of repair or finish completeness?
I honestly, I think this is Lucas' project. If I think he needs to answer that question. I think he's got a vision here.
I mean, if somebody wants to come take a scope, like they can take it and try to fix it up themselves, but we could also just try to have them all cleaned and then see, okay, how many can we give out to schools and how many do we want to give to clubs, and then figure it out once they're all clean. But if someone like needs a telescope right now, I can certainly try to get it to you.
I mean, yeah, there are 21 of them. I think.
Yeah.
I think I think the words in your mouth. My understanding is you just put Vera and thought that they were going to throw them out. Right? There was this room full of telescopes that you saw had value and someone would be interested in, and it might not be so important who that person is, as long as it goes to somebody who would appreciate it and hopefully, use it. And if that's for parts, whatever it is, just it's better than it being in a landfill.
Yeah, I also think I would feel better if like this scope and the other good ones went to like an experienced club member who knew how to use them and would like get more enjoyment out of it than some school astronomy club that will bring it up once a month and might not even know how to use it that well. So yeah, they could definitely be up for grabs for club members.
I'm telling you, don't turn around and put your back to it. John Allen's going to walk off with that one.
Yeah.
So Lucas, can I ask that you, if you type this up and send it to Jeff and me, could you also include the inventory of what you have, the OTAs that you have, and then some comments that I know you've written down some stuff about what needs to be done, what's the quality of the tube or the mount or the accoutrements, those kinds of comments to help us kind of think. Well, some of us, like I only work with refractors, so I'm really comfortable with that, but I don't have any Newtonian parts here.
Yeah. I have a spreadsheet that I can send you that has like the scopes and then the parts that are needed, and like what I currently have that goes with that scope.
And then also, I do have some parts from the library projects. They're all 1.25 eyepieces, and they're not very good eyepieces. But still, I mean, if we need to fill in eyepieces, and I don't see any reason we couldn't contribute those parts to this project too.
Yeah, if that's fine with the club, that works.
Great idea, Bill.
Yeah.
And I just wonder if once we had the list and maybe an idea of club members who might want to participate, if there could be perhaps a in-person meeting to look at the scopes, further assess and help Lucas with a plan of action with him.
Yeah. Um, like if somebody wants, I think that's good also for like distribution. If we have people who might want to know how to clean a specific mirror or something, we can bring the scopes there, have everyone look at them, and then people can take home and maybe work on individual parts that they have experience with to help out.
Yeah. Yeah, like for instance, I'd be interested in helping, but I don't have experience cleaning mirrors, any of the other stuff. So with the people with that experience and, advice on materials, that could potentially be something I could help with too.
Yeah. Um, I think that's about it, unless anybody else has anything else they'd like to say. But I feel like that's a good plan. I'll get the information sent out to Bill and Jeff, and then we can begin organizing like a list of who wants to help out with everything.
I'm sorry, I do have one last question. The Newtonians that you've got, you call them cardboard, but I'm just assuming they're like a traditional sonotube, commercial mirrors, commercial telescopes. How many and what size aperture?
They're 8 inch. There are two of them, and I think they're actually maybe homemade. There's just closet of them at Talcott Mountain. They're like they're like brownish, colored on the outside, like some sort of wax. They feel like they're made out of cardboard. They have like metal drilled into them, but I think they're home ground mirrors, maybe with one of the classes they did there. And just like put in this tube. They're also really long. I think they may be like 2,000 millimeter focal length. So for an 8 inch scope, they're pretty long.
Before we break tonight, can you bring in some of the smaller scopes for photo ops?
I have those back at my house.
Oh, I thought you had them in the car.
No, I just brought these two today.
For the next month.
Yeah, I can bring them next month. If we're doing this over many months, I can bring stuff in whenever it's needed for this.
Yeah, I'll ask them, bring them next month and
Yeah, I can do it.
take pictures.
Okay.
Good work.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Lucas.
Yeah, thanks for putting up with my incessant questioning.
No, that's great.
All right. So I did, I don't know why Jack comes up when I do this. I've just been hearing a lot about the Vera Rubin Observatory, and I got curious. So this was more for me than anything else. I did some research about it. This is just a really quick overview of it. More to whet my appetite than anything else. Just not meant to be any kind of in-depth presentation, but if anybody wants more information, then this is again just to whet people's curiosity on it. So the Vera Rubin Observatory is a new observatory that's just been built in Chile. It actually saw first light, I believe, in March or April as a test facility, but really just geared up in the last, I believe, in the last month or so. Really interesting. It's if you haven't really heard much about it, it's worth learning more about it. The latest issue of Sky and Telescope magazine, which is the December issue, has a good article about it. It's in, again, everything's in Chile because of the, the air quality there. And the altitude and the dryness. It's a different kind of telescope. It's basically, think of it as a giant digital camera. Rather than a, reflector or refractor. It's a huge digital camera, mounted on a very high speed mount that moves the camera very quickly into position to take multiple pictures. It'll snap a picture every 5 seconds, whereas I think the fastest that a normal telescope will move into position supposedly is like 5 minutes. This one moves from one position into the next every 5 seconds, and it does that continuously. So it's always taking pictures. It's a survey telescope basically, and the job of it is to do a survey of almost the entire southern sky over a period of 10 years. It's taking I forget the number, but it's like billions of pictures. It's every few nights it will repeat taking pictures of the same parts of the southern sky, and the point of it is to basically plate solving. It's not a huge magnification kind of telescope. It's the point of it is to take pictures repeatedly, take pictures of the same, enormous swaths of sky, and then look for things that have changed in those pictures. So it's really looking for two different things. It's looking for asteroids, asteroids that are moving in the sky, and supernovas, things that have changed in brightness, or things that have changed the brightness of the sky. It's got a lifespan of 10 years. I'm not sure why it's got a lifespan of 10 years. It's pretty well self-contained. The way it's made, any maintenance is done on site, so that nothing has to be removed from within the observatory itself. The mirror does have to be recoded periodically. Again, it's done in the maintenance part of the observatory, so everything's done on site. It's really quite a from everything I've read anywhere, it's really quite a slick set. They say it's the way it's described is it's just like your digital camera, but bigger. 5.5 feet tall, 12.5 feet, 12.25 feet long. I mean, it's not, enormous, but still, the resolution is pretty incredible. Takes again, photo of a section of the southern sky, and I'll show you what I mean by section. And over the next 10 years, it'll create a time lapse, pretty well the entire southern sky over and over and over and over again. So here's the resolution. That is a single photo right there. That goes 3,200 megapixels. Oops. All right, and if you put the full moon in that single photo, that's what you get.
Yeah.
That's how big it would be. So it snaps that photo of the sky, and then it moves on and snaps up, another photo. And then a few minutes later, it comes back and snaps that photo of that same part of the sky again. So one of its main tasks is to detect supernovas, and because of how fast the camera moves and how much of the sky it covers, and then moves back in the position to take photos of the same part of the sky again. It's able to, supposedly, it's able to detect the supernova at most within a few minutes of supernova occurring. And it's got they're like alarm sensors, so that when it detects a supernova, this alarm goes out to observatories all over, other observatories around the world, that can then train other telescopes, more granular, I guess, telescopes to look at that supernova. So it's an early detection system for supernovas. The estimates, right now we're up to several thousand supernovas that we detected. I don't know. Hopefully these are realistic estimates. Estimates that within its 10-year lifespan, it will detect 10 million new supernovas.
Well, that's called keeping the eye on the sky. It's amazing.
It really is. It's a pretty. I heard of this until just really a week or two ago.
So every 5 seconds it repositions and
Yeah,
keeps moving.
yeah,
Never stops.
yeah.
They must have some sort of automated system, because that's far too much data for the
Yeah.
astronomer to sit there and manually
Oh, it is. Yeah,
sift through
yeah,
everything.
yeah. And then the other thing it does, besides supernovas, no, geez, this thing's covering my. Shut up here. The other thing it does is detecting asteroids. And that's pretty obvious. If it takes a picture of the same part of the sky a couple minutes apart, it'll detect things that moved.
It'll pick up something that's moving right away.
And it will detect that something's moved. It'll detect the direction and speed, general speed that that object is moving in. It's part of the I forget what to call it. The early warning system for near Earth objects that may endanger the Earth. That's mandated by Congress a number of years back. So this is part of that system now. And again, because of how well this works, the feeling is that it may discover several million new instruments. It is. It's a neat thing.
I mentioned this this observatory to someone in the summer in Vermont, and he told me, "Oh yeah, my nephew's working on one that they're going to do in the northern hemisphere." Have you heard anything about another one similar to this, or even more elaborate coming up in like 10 years?
I have not, but I wouldn't be surprised. It just makes sense that they would plan something like that in the northern hemisphere also.
Well, I guess there's always something new happening, isn't there?
Yeah. All the pictures that I've got here are pulled directly from the Vera Rubin website. So it's a really well done website. I've got a couple of short videos. I mean, it was short, like 30 seconds, 1 minute, which really show some capabilities that it's already demonstrated as just as a demo. this one here, they used 1,100 images. 1,100 images, and this is not a graphic. These are actual photos taken by the Vera Rubin Observatory. Starts with a close, like it says, it starts with a close-up of the spiral galaxy, and then it zooms out. And I didn't count them, but I'm taking their word for it that there's 10 million galaxies by the time the video is over. So I think it's like a 30-second video. So hopefully the guys on Zoom will be able to see the video also. The resolution on this is just beautiful. Short.
20 billion galaxies.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And yes, we saw it on Zoom.
Good.
Hey, Chris,
Good.
it's pretty short. You want to just play it again? Just for
Yeah. Yeah.
Assuming there's no sound.
There was, but it was just kind of a single tone. Look at that.
yeah, it's awesome.
Isn't that beautiful? And then there's one more. Let me pause this. Oh no, it's the same one here. Can you guys see that?
Okay,
Yes.
that's new.
Okay. Yeah, these are all asteroid photographs taken for Vera Rubin. All new asteroids.
Yep, that's the one that's out there. I've seen this one before. It shows them moving across as the scope moves across the sky,
Yeah, look at that.
tracking the asteroid.
Little bees.
In 10 years, you'll be able to see that just by looking outside at night.
Those aren't satellites. Those are asteroids. Those aren't satellites. Those are all asteroids.
Oh, I know.
So, and the observations are sufficient for them to calculate orbits?
That picture of the sun with all of these things around it, that will be the Earth with all those things
Yeah.
around 10 years.
I think they probably, because of how quickly they're taking the photos, they have enough like data on the change and like the velocity of the asteroid. They
Yeah.
can get like a good orbit.
Yeah. Yeah, they probably can.
That's probably how they determine that some number were near Earth.
Yep. So, and basically, I mean, if you want to learn more right now, the Rubin Observatory website is just really well made, and has a lot of information. I've been on it. I've spent the last 2 days on it, just soaking it in.
Mhm.
And again, the latest Science and Telescope magazine, if you get it, it's got a really good article on it. So